Folks, it's getting worse, way worse. And what I can't understand is how, especially in light of the information I'm going to bring to you today that has been made public in the last 24 hours, I can't understand why we're still not getting any explanations from those who are supposed to be giving us explanations. Before I get to the actual test that was carried out by a lab technician, I want to read to you a follow-up email I got from our whistleblower from Darke and Mercer counties, Ohio, which seems to be ground zero for the Kakakahachu. Listen to this. She writes, once again, hi, Kevin. I have an important update that I saw last night from a local news outlet. I just copied and pasted a paragraph from the article. I'll keep you posted if there are any more developments. Also, my daughter just watched your latest video and stated that the drones over Darke County, again, this is in Ohio, were releasing a powder-like substance and not a mist. She said there's a big difference between the two. I stand corrected and apologize for my mistake. Hey, not a problem. We've been getting reports of both. She continues, the following paragraph is not a surprise in the least. Let us hope and pray that articles such as this do not become commonplace, and may God bless us, everyone. Listen, I fear that the article I'm about to share with you will become commonplace. So she did copy and paste and send me a paragraph from an article. I went ahead and Googled it because, again, I like to reference everything because I don't want to spread misinformation and I want to get multiple sources. So I found exactly what she was talking about, though, on multiple sources, and the one I chose to share with you came from a site called sidrap.com, okay? And they say in the article exactly what she shared with me. A man from Mercer County, Ohio, is Ohio's first human case of H5N1 avian flu, according to the Ohio Department of Health, ODH. The man is a farm worker who was in contact with deceased commercial poultry. The article goes on, and listen, I want to share this with you. Make sure you're paying attention. People should avoid direct contact with poultry or wild birds and take proper precautions. If you'll remember, we shared a story recently where an older gentleman, I believe in Louisiana, came into contact with a wild bird flock in his backyard and contracted the Kakakahachu. Now, they go on to try not to cause panic. They're saying the risk to Ohioans is low. Best way to prevent bird flu is to avoid unprotected contact, etc. They go on to say that this is not contractable by humans through birds, but they say that after they just told us that a bird farm worker just contracted it. Okay? So that's that double speak, like 1984. And like the past 4 years where you had to have these multiple slew of pronouns to describe a tree or whatever. So anyway, think back about a week or so ago, we shared an article with you out of Argentina that discussed 1,800 dead baby seals, which are mammals on the beach who had the Kakakahachu, because there is a strain that can be passed on to mammals. Just putting all the dots together, folks, because they clearly aren't doing it per individual article. They go on to state, so far the United States has recorded 68 human cases of Kakakahachu since 2024, with one death from a man in Louisiana. Now, I do want to point out, in other articles we've read about this in the past, that man in Louisiana was 65 or older. He was 65, I think. Again, we've talked about the targeted groups. Should this actually be intentional? And it's older folks who are in poor health, who have become a burden on the economic, the financial standpoint of society. Certainly not in any other point. Listen, one of my favorite quotes from my favorite author, Stephen King, is this: every time an old man dies, a library burns. Now, what he means by that is you take somebody, man or woman, 75, 80, 90 years old, the amount of knowledge they possess, the amount of experiences they've had, that's like an encyclopedia collection right there. So to just unalive them because their healthcare costs now far outweigh any sort of profit you can make from them by buying your pharmaceutical tablets, it's criminal. It's disgusting. That's not respecting our elders. All right, continuing. Let's get now to the lab technician who emailed me about her test with the snow. She says, make sure she gave me permission to use her name. Folks, if you have something you want to share with us, you can email the channel. It's crazylake@mail.com. Okay, got to give us permission to share your story. If you don't want us to use your name, let us know. We'll keep you anonymous. But yeah, this is just Sarah. An email from Sarah. She states, this is Sarah, the vet tech over here on Mr. Mimla's nose right along the Mississippi River. Now, if you've never heard of Mr. Mimla, don't feel bad, because I had to Google it. I'm like, what's she talking about? Is that the name of the veterinarian clinic where she works? Well, those are a strip of states that go from the Canadian border all the way down to the Gulf of America that include Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, and Louisiana. And if you look at it, it looks like a man, like a chef with a chef hat, and he's got his nose. So she's right there on that part of it. She continues, we got a few inches of very fluffy and slippery snow over the last couple of days. This is after days of tic-tac-toe in the skies, which of course she's referencing chemtrail activity. So they chemtrail the heck out of the skies, then it snows. It quit snowing last night, and now the sky is free of lines. I was letting my dogs out this morning and looking at the sun hitting the snow. I noticed the flakes aren't snowflakes, as they are not symmetrical. I took a sample to melt inside and put on a urinary strip to check the pH. I checked the pH of tap water, which is 7. The snow water was 0. 0 or below is acid. So that's fun. Acid snow now. She continues, I've been away from the clinic due to chronic health issues. Imagine that. So I have not tried to stain it for microscopy yet. I may send my sample to Iowa State. Thought you would be interested in these findings. If I gather more information, I will send it your way. Thanks for your time, Sarah. Sarah, thank you for your time, and thank you for giving us this update on your lab results. Acid snow. Ironically, after they tic-toed the crap-ola out of the skies, and then the snow comes through, what is that snow picking up? And are they intentionally putting it out there to be picked up? All right, so here's an example of how they are handling this. So we got one bona fide news article about a man, a farmer, actually contracting the kakahuchu from a dead bird on a poultry farm in Ohio. But then they say, but don't worry, folks. It's almost impossible for it to have this happen. Really? Then why did it happen? So anyway, one of our viewers named Mark sent me another article. And here I was thinking, oh, this is going to be great too. This article comes from some online thing called Futurism, and the title is people in Florida, ground zero, FYI, in my opinion, people in Florida say dense, mysterious fog with chemical smell is making them sick. And they quoted somebody from the article for their little line below the title, subtitle line. The taste of the air, the only word I can think of is toxic. And I thought, yeah, here's another one that gets it. We're finally starting, even the lamestream media is finally coming together to talk about this, right? Well, I went on to read that article and basically just made fun of anybody who's talking about it. They're calling it a conspiracy theory. They're talking about the drones, the fog. It's sickening. Folks, we have got to take this seriously or nothing's going to be done. We're going around sounding the bells and the whistles about this while half the people out there who are supposed to be informing the public are making fun of those of us who are trying to inform the public. Sickening. Shame on you. All right. Now, this is from a different Mark. But now listen, what I'm going to read to you now is just a series of emails that have come in or comments from the channel to confirm how serious this is. This isn't 5 or 6 people trying to drum up a beat to get views on social media. This is going on around the world, and it is serious. All right? This is from another Mark, a different Mark than the one that sent that article. He says, hey, Kevin, I live in Canton, Ohio, and I had to make a trip to the ER yesterday because my wife passed out at the gym. She goes on a regular basis. She's vegan and in good health, but she developed a cold a week ago. I could not believe how crowded the ER was. 60 to 80 people, average age around the targeted age of 65. Like I mentioned earlier, and like I've been saying for a while. We were there for 3 hours and left after another couple said they had been there for 7 hours already. Local news said Ohio is the worst in the nation for kakahuchu. You can use this email, but only use my first name. Thank you for having this channel, Mark. So again, another Ohio resident where they're just, I think it was 18 hours ago as of this recording, the first confirmed case of an Ohio resident having Hachoo, the one we received the email about from our secret informant. They're in Darke and Mercer counties. The lady was born in Mercer County. She's lived in Darke County for the last 36 years. She knows that's our secret boots on the ground. Ma'am, keep sending us all the information you can. Because as you can see, Mark's wife is in the ER. There's 60 to 80 people in there. Primary targeted group, ages 65 plus. All right, here's an email from a gentleman named Alan Davis. Alan writes, "Hello, Kevin. My name is Alan Davidson. Sorry. I just recently subscribed to your channel. I've been watching your videos about drones and fog, and I would like to inform you that I live in a small town in East Tennessee called Claiborne County. The name of the town is Tazewell, about 45 minutes north of Knoxville. I walked outside on February 10th at 7 a.m., and there was fog so thick you couldn't see 10 feet in front of you. I didn't really think about it, but about an hour later, my jaw started hurting and swelling for the past 4 days. My throat has felt tight, as have my lungs. My throat's scratchy. I've not been sick in 20 years. I also spotted drones here about a month ago. I just wonder why any of this is going on in this little town. You have my permission to use this and my name if you like. Love the videos." So here we have it again. People just sent, like myself here in recent days, going out, getting exposed to the fog. We had our truck driver, Linda, yesterday. Her face is swelling up. We had the other Linda, who from Tennessee, ironically, just like this gentleman. Her and her husband witnessed strangely flying, strange flocks of birds, and now he's in the ER. Do we have an update on your husband yet? Could you please email the channel to let us know? We want to know. We want to make sure that the folks are safe. But listen, folks, I think the best way to stay safe are two ways. Number one, when you see the fog, make sure to stay out of it. And number two, like it said in the first article, don't come in contact with poultry, livestock. That's going to be hard. I mean, a lot of you have chickens in your backyard. You have quails, and well, until they and whatever they're spraying comes along and kills them. If, like ours, maybe yours have survived. Some of us, like myself, I mean, I buy bird seed to feed the wild birds in the 50-pound bags. I go through a bag a week because I mean, folks, it's getting nasty out there. And they've been making fun of us ever since we first started seeing the drones last fall. But the stories are just starting to pile in of all the illnesses and the deaths and the people contracting the Hachoo and ending up in the ER. Folks, I want to take a moment at this time to point out that this video is being partly sponsored by my novel Off Switch. Listen, this is available in print and Kindle on Amazon, or you can get personally autographed print copies from our Etsy store. The links for both places are in the description box below. This is a fictional novel based upon fact, based upon my own deployment. That's me on the cover to Iraq. You know, I mentioned the 3 targeted groups with this spraying or whatever it is that's going on. Number 1, it's the unhealthy elderly because they become a burden on the system. Number 2, I mentioned, is veterans. You read this book and you'll fully understand why they view us as a threat. You want to talk about mistreatment of soldiers on deployment? I mean, just here's a little, a little teaser. This guy didn't receive any pay for the first 5 months in theater, and my dirtbag first lieutenant wouldn't let me go to the payroll department to even have it fixed or to look into it, while he was lying to our first sergeant that he had taken care of it. So this meant my children back home, while I was in a war zone in hell fighting terrorists, weren't being financially taken care of. You know what that would do to me after the deployment? Yeah, Nightmare City. So if you want to know why we're the second largest targeted group, it's because we know exactly how those elected and put in charge of taking care of us take care of us the least, to include those of us who go over and fight for freedom so others don't have to. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of dirty little secrets out of this book. If you want an autographed print copy, you better hurry because I've only got 14 of these left in stock here. And you can get them through our Etsy store. And then again, The third group of targeted people, half of which belong into this group, and the other half probably belong into the unhealthy senior citizens just because they've been around the world and they've seen things, they've experienced it. That's what is actually called targeted individuals. That's free thinkers, people who think for themselves, think and live outside the box, don't follow the crowd. Oh, and who I guess are often called conspiracy theorists. Yeah, so anyway, listen, with all that said, I want to end by giving a very special shout out to Kathy Bates, not the actress, even though we did have an actress contact us yesterday, the lady from 16 Candles. FYI, I mentioned in that video you should do a sequel to Girlfriend from Hell. She also starred in that movie. I thought of it later, hey, I would appear in that film with you. I would be your, the boyfriend. You could be my girlfriend from hell. Just putting that out there. If you're interested, have your people contact my people. They can get together and have scrambled eggs and coffee and talk about it. Okay? So anyway, Kathy Bates, who lives in the Ozarks in Arkansas, sent me a nice email and mentioned that she and her 89-year-old mother, who she helps care for, watches this show every day. Kathy, you sent me a lot of really wonderful information on what's going on with cell towers and all kinds of stuff in Arkansas. The folks are trying not to have come in there. 5G, that might be part of it. Get a lot of information about 5G, folks. I'm not ignoring you. Just been staying busy with the fog, the drones, and the caca-caca-hachoo. So listen, thanks for joining me for another video. Stay safe out there. Send us what you're seeing. Again, the email address is crazylake@mail.com. If you see the fog rolling in, get in, stay out of it. As much as you might be a bird lover, stay away from them for now until further notice. If your chickens, your turkeys, your quails start acting suspicious, they start coming down ill, listen, as much as we love our birds, we've got to put self-love first. Don't touch. Do not touch. Okay, and stay tuned, stay alert, stay vigilant. Keep your eyes, your ears, and your nose, because we know about the chemical smell. Keep all these senses on a swivel. See you for more next time.